All right, so today we're gonna dive into something that I think is really fascinating.
Okay.
The Logitech C920 webcam.
Yeah.
You've probably heard of this thing. You might even own one. But we're gonna try to figure out why this thing is a legend.
A legend.
In the tech world.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We've got a whole stack of reviews and articles, and they all basically say the same thing.
Yeah.
That this camera is still a top pick.
I know.
Almost a decade after it came out.
It's really remarkable.
It is wild.
When you think about the tech world, how quickly things change.
Yeah.
Like a webcam from 2012 you'd think would be completely irrelevant.
Yeah, ancient history.
But the C920 just keeps hanging in there.
It does.
It beats out newer, more expensive models.
All the time.
Yeah, in reviews and comparisons.
So, like, what is the deal?
Yeah.
What makes this webcam so special? Is it just like a
nostalgia thing?
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. Or is there something more to it?
Well, one of the big things is the image quality that the C920 has. It records in 1080p at 30 frames per second.
Right, and I think some people might say, well, isn't that like the standard these days?
Yeah, and you're right.
So why is that a big deal?
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
A lot of video conferencing software is still using that resolution. So even if you have a 4K webcam, it's probably getting downscaled anyway.
Right, so it's like you're getting all the quality you need.
Right, you're hitting that sweet spot.
Yeah.
Without going overboard.
But it's not just about the resolution, right?
No, exactly.
How does the picture actually look?
Yeah, the reviewers consistently praise the C920 for its natural-looking skin tones.
Okay.
They talk about the sharp details.
Yeah.
There's even one review that mentions how impressed they were that the C920 could capture individual beard hairs.
That's wild.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about different lighting situations, though?
Oh, that's a great question. Because not everybody has a perfect home studio.
Right.
And the reviews actually talk about that as another strength of the C920.
Okay.
While it definitely performs best in well-lit conditions, it seems to hold its own even in dimmer environments.
Okay.
And often produces brighter, sharper images than some of the pricier rivals.
Interesting.
There's a side-by-side comparison in one article where the C920 actually outperforms the Razer Kiyo in natural lighting.
Wow.
Which is a significantly more expensive webcam.
Okay, so it sounds like the C920 is all about like solid performance without all the fuss.
Without all the fuss.
Yeah, but what about the features?
Right.
Does it have like all the bells and whistles of the new webcams?
It doesn't go overboard with features.
Okay.
But what it does have is very well considered and well executed.
Okay.
It's a just right approach.
I like that.
You know,
Yeah.
It has a sturdy design, so it clips securely onto monitors and laptops.
Okay.
But there's also a tripod mount.
So you've got options.
Yeah, if you want more flexibility with your setup.
Right, like it adapts to your needs.
Exactly.
Which is good.
And speaking of adaptability, the autofocus is another feature that gets a lot of praise.
Okay.
It's reliable, but it's not overly sensitive or jumpy.
Yeah.
Which is good for beginners.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Or people who just don't want to be constantly fiddling with settings.
So it just works.
It just works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the software, is it also like simple and straightforward?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Logitech provides software called Logitech Capture. And it's designed to be very user-friendly.
Okay.
You can adjust brightness, contrast, saturation if you want to tweak your image a little bit.
Yeah.
But you don't have to be a tech wizard to figure it out.
It's accessible to kind of anybody.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've got great image quality.
Yeah.
Even in like less than ideal lighting, sturdy design, adaptable, and the software is easy to use. But like, let's be real. In the tech world, value for money is always a factor.
Big time.
So where does the C920 stand on that?
Well, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The C920 is consistently praised for its affordability.
Okay.
Especially when you compare it to some of those high-end models that might not offer a big jump in quality for everyday use.
Right.
The reviews mentioned some pretty interesting price fluctuations over the years.
Okay.
Before the pandemic.
Yeah.
When everybody needed a webcam.
Right.
You could snag a C920 for as low as $50.
Wow. That's a steal.
Yeah.
So what about now?
The MSRP is around $80.
Okay.
But you can often find it on sale for less.
So it's still a good deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so for somebody who's like out there looking for a new webcam, what are the things that make this stand out from the crowd?
Well, if you're looking for a reliable workhorse, That delivers excellent image quality for everyday use, like video calls, online meetings, even some casual recording.
Yeah.
The C920 definitely fits the bill.
All right.
It's also a great option if you're thinking about dipping your toes into streaming or content creation. But you don't want to break the bank on a high-end webcam.
Right. So if you need something good,
Yeah.
but you don't need like the best of the best,
Yeah.
this is a good option.
Exactly.
But it's not perfect, is it?
Well, no piece of tech is perfect.
That's true.
There are always trade-offs.
Yeah. What are some of the downsides?
Well, one thing that reviewers mention is the lack of a built-in lens cover.
Okay.
So if privacy is a big concern for you,
Yeah.
you might want to buy a separate one.
And what about the built-in microphone?
Yeah, the general consensus is it's decent,
Okay.
but not exceptional.
Got it.
If you're serious about streaming or recording high-quality audio,
Yeah.
you'll probably want to invest in a separate microphone.
So just a couple minor drawbacks.
Yeah.
But overall, still a really good value.
Yeah, it's earned its legendary status.
It really has.
I think what's so interesting to me is that it kind of defies this tech industry obsession with the newest and latest.
Yeah.
It makes you think about what true value means.
Yeah.
In a world where we're constantly bombarded with messages to upgrade and buy the next big thing.
Yeah, it's like this little rebel
Yeah.
quietly saying, you know what? Sometimes the best solution isn't the flashiest or the most expensive.
Exactly.
It's just about something that works.
Works reliably.
Yeah.
Delivers on its promises.
And doesn't break the bank.
And doesn't break the bank.
Yeah. All right, so as we continue our deep dive into the world of the C920,
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Okay.
What can we learn from this webcam's enduring popularity?
Yeah.
What does it tell us about our own relationship with technology and our pursuit of, like, the best?
That's a great question.
All right, we'll be right back after a quick break.
Okay.
All right, so we've kind of established that the C920 is a bit of a legend in the tech world.
Yeah.
But I'm still wondering, like, how has it stayed relevant for so long?
It's really interesting, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
I think one of the things is that it really strikes that balance
Yeah.
between performance and affordability.
Okay.
It gives you the quality you need for everyday use without all the bells and whistles
Right.
that often come with more expensive models.
So it's like that sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
Not too basic,
Not too basic, not too fancy.
not too fancy, just right.
Just right.
And we keep seeing that with this camera, don't we?
Yeah, I think it speaks to something bigger
Oh,
about
yeah.
understanding who you're making something for.
Yeah.
Logitech clearly recognized
Yeah.
that most people aren't looking for
Yeah.
a professional grade studio webcam.
Right.
They want something that's reliable, easy to use, doesn't cost a fortune.
Yeah, one of the reviews said it was like the people's champion of webcams.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
It's a webcam for the everyday person.
Right.
I think that's why people like it so much.
Yeah.
You know, in a world where we're always being told to upgrade and buy the next big thing,
Right.
it's kind of refreshing
It is.
that sometimes the best solution is just the one that works
And doesn't break the bank.
and doesn't break the bank. Exactly.
Yeah, and it's not just like individual users, right?
Yeah.
Think about all the businesses and schools and organizations that are using this thing.
Yeah, that says a lot about its reliability
Yeah.
and versatility.
Like it can handle a lot of different situations.
Yeah, it's a real workhorse.
Yeah, and it works across a bunch of different operating systems.
Oh, that's huge,
Right.
especially for businesses.
Yeah.
Or anyone who has to manage multiple devices.
It makes things simple.
Yeah, it just works.
Plug and play.
Plug and play, exactly.
So we've talked about the performance. We've talked about the affordability. Easy to use, versatile. What about the design?
Yeah.
It's not exactly the most stylish webcam.
Well, the design's interesting because it's almost become iconic.
Okay.
Like that simple rectangular shape.
Yeah.
You see that, you know, it's a C920.
Yeah. It's recognizable.
It's not flashy. It's not trendy.
Yeah.
It's just functional.
Yeah.
And in a way, it's kind of classic.
It's like it doesn't really feel dated either, which
Yeah.
is pretty impressive.
You're right.
For tech, that's over 10 years old.
It is.
I mean, it's like a well-designed chair
Yeah.
or a classic car.
Right. Good design is timeless.
Yeah. But speaking of newer models,
Yeah.
I know Logitech has released a few other webcams,
They have.
like the Brio
Yeah.
and the
It's a-
StreamCam. What do those fit in?
Well, I think those are aimed at different people. The
Right.
Brio, for example, has 4K resolution,
Okay.
which is great if you need that.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about before,
Yeah.
for most people, 1080p is plenty.
Right.
And the C920 gives you that.
At a way better price.
At a much more affordable price, yeah.
Yeah, and the StreamCam, I feel like that's more for like...
Yeah, that's for content creators.
Content creators.
Yeah.
YouTuber.
Higher frame rates, vertical video.
Yeah.
It's really for people who are making online videos.
Right, so if you just need a good webcam.
Yeah.
For like meetings and stuff.
The C920 is more than enough.
It sounds like Logitech is kind of like... They've segmented the market.
They have. You know, they've got...
different webcams for different needs.
Different budgets. I think they recognize.
Yeah.
Not everybody wants the same thing.
Right.
And the C920 is a good example of
that. But what's the bigger lesson here? Like, what can we as, like, consumers learn from this?
I think it's a reminder
that
sometimes the most valuable products aren't the newest or the fanciest.
Right.
They're the ones that do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah.
And offer real value. And meet people's needs.
And they just work. Yeah.
Without a lot of fuss.
It's like a focus on functionality and reliability.
Exactly.
And value.
Value, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the C920 shows that simplicity, when done well, can be really powerful.
It's not trying to be everything to everyone.
Right.
It's just a good webcam.
Yeah.
That does its job well.
And it does it really well.
Okay, so we've looked at its popularity.
Yeah.
We've looked at its features, talked about its value. But before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your final thoughts on what makes this thing such a standout product. Okay, so we've talked a lot about this C920. The features, the value, and you know why it's stuck around for so long.
It's pretty amazing.
But I think what's really interesting to me is that it's not just a good webcam. It's become like a cultural thing in the tech world.
It really has, hasn't it? I think there's some big lessons here that go way beyond just this one webcam.
All right, lay it on me.
Okay, so one of the biggest things I think
Yeah.
is focusing on what really matters.
Okay.
Like core functionality. This camera doesn't try to be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
It does one thing really well.
Yeah.
It takes a clear, high-quality video, and that's it.
It's like a chef who's perfected their signature dish.
Exactly.
Like, they don't need a whole menu to prove they're good.
Right, and I think that ties into understanding your audience.
Okay.
Like, Logitech knew that most people don't want a webcam that has a million features they'll never use.
Right, they kept it simple.
They kept it simple.
Easy to use.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best thing is the thing that just works.
Right out of the box.
Right out of the box.
No messing around with settings.
Yeah, and that's a big lesson, I think, for anybody who's making anything.
Like, just make it easy to use.
Yeah, make it accessible.
To everyone.
Yeah, okay, so we've got, like, focus on the core stuff.
Yeah.
Knowing who you're making it for.
Right.
And keeping it simple.
Keep it simple.
What else?
Well, we talked about it before.
Yeah.
But it's worth mentioning again.
Right.
This camera can adapt to a lot of different situations.
Mixed with a lot of different stuff.
Different devices, different operating systems.
It's like the Swiss Army knife of webcams.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, it can fit in anywhere.
That flexibility, I think, has helped it become so popular.
And we can't forget about the price.
Oh, yeah. The price is a big one.
Yeah, people love that it's affordable. And it's still a good quality webcam.
Right. They've proven that you can have both. You don't have to sacrifice quality to be affordable.
Especially these days, right?
Especially these days.
When everything seems so expensive.
Everything's getting more expensive.
So we've got focus on what matters. We've got knowing your audience.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple. Making it adaptable. Keeping it affordable. What's the secret sauce? I think it's the community.
The community.
Yeah. You know, this webcam has built up
a
really loyal following over the years. Tons of people love it.
Yeah.
Recommend it to their friends.
It's like a cult classic.
It is.
Like, people are genuinely, like, passionate.
Yeah, and that word of mouth is really powerful.
It's more powerful than any advertisement.
It is.
Yeah.
You know, people trust recommendations.
Especially for tech stuff.
Yeah, they want to know it actually works.
Right, like, does it live up to the hype?
And this one does.
And that's why it's still around.
Yeah, that's why it has such a good reputation.
So if you're out there thinking about getting a new webcam, think about the C920.
It's a good option.
It's more than just a webcam, though.
It is.
It's like a whole philosophy.
Yeah.
It's about value. It's about simplicity. It's about finding something that works.
Yeah.
And sticking with it. Yeah.
That's a good lesson.
Yeah. It's a reminder that sometimes the best isn't the newest or the flashiest. It's just the thing that gets the job done.
And does it well.
And does it well.
Yeah.
All right, well, thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of the C920.
It's a fascinating little camera.
It really is.
Yeah.
We hope you learned something new.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll even think differently about what makes a tech product really good.
A classic.
A classic.
Yeah.
All right, until next time.
Yay.
Keep diving deep.